secure border is saving thousands of lives every year. Under the last administration, over 4,000 aliens died making that journey. With a secure border, lives are being saved every day. Sex trafficking has plummeted. Fentanyl has plummeted. No inspected terrorists coming across borders plummeted. A secure border means stronger national security.
That's the White House border czar, Tom Homan, sharing on the Trump administration's major wins by securing the southern border. And the numbers agree with him. Customs and Border Protection reports encounters at the southern border hitting record lows. Let's bring in Paul Perez, the president of the National Border Patrol Council. Paul, thanks for being here tonight. President Biden said, he couldn't wave a magic wand and tighten up the southern border, but somehow it's happened under President Trump. What's the difference here?
Well, President Biden was a complete disaster. We told him and his team, including Secretary Mayorkas, that if they did what they were going to do, it was going to be a complete catastrophe, and they were going to facilitate and invite millions of people, but they didn't listen. President Trump knew exactly what he was doing during his first term, and during his second term, he has allowed us to go out there and secure the border like it's never been secured before. Under the leadership of Secretary Noam and Tom Homan, we've been able to do just that in less than a year. I mean, actually, it took a few months to get everything under control like we had it before during the first Trump administration. All we needed was the ability to do it, and President Biden did not want to allow us to do it.
Rodney Scott is the Customs and Border Patrol Commissioner. He talks about the change in this administration. Listen.
We're currently experiencing the most secure border this nation has ever seen. We're at 92% identifying illegal entries, 92% lower than the peaks during the Biden administration. But let me put that into context for you a little bit more. In an hour and a half during the Biden administration, we caught more people than we're catching and seeing across the border illegally in a 24-hour period now.
And catch and release was the method of the day back in the Biden administration. Where does that stand now?
It doesn't exist. There's no such thing under this administration. They turned that off immediately, day one. Within the first hour, catch and release was over, and it has not been turned on and will not be turned on ever again under this administration. That was one of the biggest draws to this country from President Biden. He allowed everybody to come in and be released, which took us off the line and allowed everybody else that wanted to come in to come in. So there were not only the millions that he facilitated to enter, but there were millions more that entered undetected because we weren't on the line. That is completely stopped and changed under President Trump.
Yeah, these are the numbers, the latest statistics, and it shows the difference. 245 per day, roughly 11 per hour are coming across the border these days. That's 95% lower than the daily average. The average was 5,110 a day in the Biden administration, I should say. And some days there were, 10,000 people coming across?
Absolutely. So there were stations along the southwest border where they were holding over 10,000 in custody at any given time. There was absolutely nowhere to put them. And that did not stop the Biden administration from continuing to encourage more people to cross the border illegally. So, yeah, it's slowed to a complete trickle, the lowest numbers in history. President Trump did it. He didn't need a law. All he needed was to allow us to do our job, and he did.
Well, what's the morale like among your Border Patrol officers?
Morale is great because everybody is doing the job, is doing what they signed up to do, which is apprehending, detecting, deterring, and kicking people out of this country that have no business being in here because they're illegally. So it's a great time to be a Border Patrol agent. Our morale is at the highest it's ever been. Really, really good time for us.
The president of the National Border Patrol Council, Paul Perez. Paul, thanks for coming on.